started the live on DH, and then it wouldn't let me. Anyway. Like, why are we doing this in Mercury retrograde? I don't understand.
I feel like we do everything. We start everything anew in Mercury retrograde. I'm pretty sure when we first started the podcast, it was like the first Mercury retrograde of the year.
Yes, I remember. Oh my god, we're so stupid sometimes.
Honestly, we're literally like two astrologers who like don't even
follow the planets every
around the transits. We just jump on willy-nilly. And really, if we had half a brain, we would go on and check this shit, right?
Nah, I mean, let's just live life on the edge.
We survived this far, surely.
I know. I need like a big breath. I have had a very stressful morning. How is everybody else feeling?
I don't know. My child sounded like he was having a pretty stressful morning out there, but I was like,
You're like,
I went and made a cup of tea and I closed the door and I was like, I need to make a phone call, okay? I need to make a phone call.
Calm it down.
Here I am.
Oh, I'm glad I'm your phone call.
Yeah. Just us and the internet. So yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited to like. This is the first time that we've spoken face to face in a few weeks.
Literally over a month.
I miss you.
I know. I miss you too. Like, for everybody who's watching this, you don't understand. Like, Alicia and I have taken a break, and we literally took a break. We took a break from talking to each other, from like updating each other. We were just like, need a whole reset. So I'm excited to dive back in, but I think that we both really needed it, you know?
Yeah, we need it more than the people, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a selfish decision, really. Like this whole, even the podcast, it's like, it's not even for anyone.
No, no, we're just, super self-centered.
Yeah. So we have had a break. It was really, I guess you could say, unannounced, I suppose, because
and really,
I was in the middle of moving house, and you had just launched your second business, and it was all just a lot, and we thought that it'd just be best if we just had a few weeks of grace just so we could wrap our heads around the new schedules and routines. And yeah, it's been really, really hard with my child.
Oh, yeah, it's been really hard, but you know what, I'm excited to start this season. I feel like we've both been feeling this call to go a little bit deeper with so many different things, and also bring in some new topics. And I know that, you know, a lot of our community know us for that spiritual side of ourselves, but I am feeling this call to kind of go a little bit deeper into other topics, and not just necessarily the spiritual side of things, because I think that it's quite harmful for us to bracket ourselves in like that. And like, we're so multi-passionate, we're so like, you know, multifaceted, and so is everybody else. So I think like, for me, I'm like wanting to bring in more different conversations, you know.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that we've spoken about for a while now. Like, we've kind of both hinted to one another that we are wanting to kind of go a little bit deeper and just not box ourselves in with, you know, just the spiritual side of things. Yeah, I think that it will be really fun, and I think that we also have so much to say in terms of the stuff that lies within, you know, past those boundaries that we've been kind of saying. Not that we haven't truly boxed ourselves in that way.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that there's just so much potential to push it even further than we have. And that's what I love about this like podcast space that we're working within as well, because you and I, particularly, when we grow bigger and bigger and bigger and better, and it's kind of, it's not just putting together, you know, an experience, it is like an evolution
Yeah.
that people can come and witness. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. And what we're seeing and how we're kind of experiencing life as well, because I know that so many people are so interested in like the behind the scenes and just like us as people, not just people. Put them back. My child has just opened my pods and it just connected from my phone.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think that it's definitely the right move, and yeah, I'm excited to kick this off. So we start filming Monday.
Monday. It's exciting, but I'm also nervous because these first couple of episodes are going to be quite like a whole other level of vulnerability that I don't think either of us have really expressed, not only on social media but on the internet. So I'm nervous, but I'm also excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's a good feeling though. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like that's a good feeling. I feel the same.
yeah.
um,
On the edge of that new growth era for sure.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good direction to go in. And as we were saying before, like we want to reach more out to community as well and see, you know, what you guys are wanting us to dive into as well, but not just pertaining to a spiritual sense either. I think that that will be a really interesting, I don't know, part of this experience once we open that up as well, not just within the constraints of spirituality, but also just in the, I guess, the realm of life in general and being a human, which I love because we, like, it's what we named the podcast after all, right?
Literally. You know what I think we need to bring in this season? I think we need to bring in the wise wine ideas that we had.
Like, finally, this was an idea as well for anyone watching, listening. This wise wines, this idea was something that we actually brainstormed before we even launched the podcast. Like
Literally.
this was in planning, but we just never got around to it. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit
So I
about
think,
that?
yeah, I feel like instead of doing, okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking instead of adding onto our schedule, because I don't know about you, but the rest of
It's
the year
full.
looks pretty. So instead of our schedule, maybe we do once a month, like wise wines, and people pop in questions that they have or advice that they would like to receive from us. And it doesn't have to just pertain to spirituality. It can, you know, go wherever you want it to go through. I think we'll definitely pop up some boundaries around like psychically reading you and doing that sort of stuff, but I'd be happy to even look into astrology placements. Like I'd be happy to talk about business, talk about relationships, motherhood, like anything. So I don't know, what do you think about that? Once a month having an episode called Wise Wines
Yeah.
and making it like this.
Yeah. Making it a live episode where people can just dive in and join us in person.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing, and it also kind of opens up the space for the community to experience both of us in the same place. And yeah, I think that it would be really supportive as well because I don't know about you, but I'm assuming that you get just as many bloody DMs asking for support and advice as well. Like it's really intense,
Yeah.
and I want somewhere to hold space where people can come and drop in and ask those very same questions that I see like piled up in my direct messages, but I can't and have the capacity to
Yeah.
make the space for people to come through and ask and just dive in, but also having the lens of both of us because we've spoken about the both of us before and how beautiful it is with both of our energies because while we're so similar, we're also very different as well. And we bring very different things into the mix. Hence why I ask you about like anything I need advice on because I know that you'll bring a new light to it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have thought about it like that.
Literally say the joys of being on like the opposite ends of the wheel, right? We
Yeah.
get both of those perspectives. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that idea too. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
And we love you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, Sam, thank you. Sam says the thing that sets your podcast apart is how vulnerable and real you keep it. And she also said you should add what's going on in your life, like a monthly recap. That's pretty cool. I know that we all do like a check-in as well when we both start. Like we dive having an episode kind of like catch up, what's going on, you know, what's everyone like everyone, you and me.
Everyone.
What are we doing? How are we feeling?
Yeah.
Let's walk in. I think it's a really good idea as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. We can definitely incorporate more of that in for sure. But I mean, I'd love to pose the question, and feel free for whoever's on live or watching the replay to just comment on this or drop us. Is there anything in particular that's coming up in your life right now that you would love some perspective on, or you'd love us to talk about, whether it is about spiritual things that are going on in the world? Like, we'd love your topic recommendations, because ultimately we do create this podcast for your ear holes. So we want to make sure that you're feeling seen and heard through this whole process. I like the wise wine idea for season 3. I think that'd be really cool.
Yes.
What else kind of comes up for you? What you
Well, it's so funny that you posed that question about the wise wines, because I've been thinking a lot about having that live space available for people. But also, and I know that we've spoken about this before, but I feel like it would be really beautiful to dedicate like some time, even if we were to dedicate like time from, I don't know, like even if it's like once every 3 months. I'm getting a llama thrown at my head. Even if we dedicate like one recording session, like a quarter, to do some kind of, because I know that people really want more of like a learning environment as well from us. It's something that we're always asked as well. Having like some kind of space, like workshop space that we can run as well, would be a really cool idea. But obviously it would be a paid exchange. But it would definitely be like a big deep dive into something that, you know, people are wanting to learn, or just like almost like a the word mastery just came to me.
Oh, I love that.
Mastery. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
Drop through. So I think that would be a really, really good way as well to connect, but also give back. Give back as well.
Yes. I love that idea. Oh, this is why I locked my door, and she's with digital daycare right now.
I've done that.
I love that. That's amazing. I love the workshop idea. I think everybody watching, I mean, we will have obviously a minimum that we feel is like supportive for us holding this workshop space. But how much we're willing to pay for something like that once a month, mastery workshops, mastery. We'll play around with it.
Yeah, I feel like that word needs to come into it somewhere, because it just came through like I don't want to say self masteries, but it's something that's wanting to come through with that.
Yeah, I like mastery.
Yeah, write that down. Obviously, I'm not taking notes.
I'm prepared. I love how Virgo is like always.
The Virgo is not in the house. Virgo's not home.
Yes. Okay. Sweet. That sounds so good. I'm excited. I'm super excited to start something fresh. And I mean, it's going to be a really spicy season, because personally, I've got so much going on and so much has changed and so much will be changing.
Yeah.
So my whole perspective has really drastically shifted. So I think, and already I can feel this another side of me come through.
Yeah.
Protective and, you know, a lot stronger than I've been in the past. So I'm going to be fascinated to see how I show up in this space as well, just from a personal point of view, because I think that especially since we've taken the break, a lot has changed. And I feel like I'm a whole different person.
Yeah. Isn't that funny too? I feel like almost when we decide to take a break, it's always because there's something going on behind the scenes that we may not be aware of at the time.
Yeah.
But then when we realize why we had to take that break, we're like, oh,
Oh,
that's so that's, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to sort of have you in the space and move through this kind of like inner transformation that's going on at the moment as well. And I think that it's going to bring like a different edge as well to this space. Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah.
I definitely think having having like some, I know this is going to be really hard as well, but also having an option of people like to join live.
Well, with Riverside, you can do that. It's super easy. So
Okay.
we can just send out a link and they can literally just be, I think they call them viewers. So the community can view us recording live.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It,
That's really that makes it so easy as well. Just to, like, even if you feel like recording one time and just being like, hey, we're gonna do it live today. You
yeah.
just jump on and do it live. Like, it's so easy. But then it's not the same as Zoom, is it? So you don't have like a million little faces down the bottom.
No.
Or is it the same? Which is okay, but
Yeah, I think a chat functionality, but I'm not sure about the.
no, what I'm saying is it's probably a good thing because with the editing and stuff, it would be really difficult if that was the case.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, unless of course we're doing like a educational recording.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to do. I love Tanita's knowledge on technology. I don't know where I would be without Tanita and her knowledge on technology. Seriously, like the things that she's introduced me to.
You know, it's like I've gone from, I'm like working with this new client at the moment, right? And you know, I've gone from having so much technology in my business, and like you said, Sam, knowing so much, and this client like literally doesn't have anything, and I'm like in no man's land. It feels so weird and bizarre, but I'm like, I just don't understand that people don't utilize technology in the same way that. So it's funny because this is why I love working with other people and collaborating with other people, all different perspectives, because you always learn something new, right? So
Yeah, you do. You've definitely reshaped my world on how to structure things in my life. Which it's crazy. The Pisces teaching the Virgo about like structuring something.
you teach me structured. Don't worry.
It's wild, but I love it. I love that connection and how unique it is. Yeah, you're evolving me into a more mature Virgo. From the tech and other things.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think this will be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I think also something that I'd really love to bring in this season, if possible, is the utilization of like the voice notes. So like people leaving us voice notes and then us being able to play them on the podcast. So I know because of our scheduling restrictions, like it's super hard to have guests on the podcast, but I do know that there are so many people in this community that have perspectives that could be really helpful for particular episodes.
Yeah.
So if we were to ever plan in advance, I would love to have that opportunity for people to put their voice into the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's something that we've been asked quite a lot over the last 2 years with this podcast is, do you have guests on? Like, can I go on your podcast? And it's not something that we've prioritized, like opening up, also because we already have both of our, like, pretty much we just don't want to be like super crowded and like chaotic. I mean, I've listened to a lot of podcasts that have like multiple people on, and I've always felt a little bit like
overwhelmed.
What's going on is really overwhelming. But as you said, like it's so important to reach out and get different perspectives and different lenses on people's experiences. And utilizing that voice note function will be so powerful in sharing people's stories, because I really think that it's important that we utilize storytelling and share people's stories as well.
I love the storytelling piece of that, like so.
Yeah, I mean, it's what creates connection. Like we're here to tell. We're natural, like human beings are natural storytellers. And you think about like over, hundreds of thousands of years, like it's the stories that have been passed on through and shared that have shaped the future way. It's what we rely on to learn. So I think that it's really powerful that we do that. But as well, I know that we've had people in the past and like, oh, I'm a bit too scared, I don't want to share my voice. So it really does, like, as much as we can want that and desire that for this space, we also need to put that back onto other people's in their hands as well, and say, well, if you want to share your story, then you have to be willing to share your story. It's really difficult, like, to open something up and to want to offer it, but then again, you need both sides wanting to do that. So and I think that there's still so many people that feel a bit apprehensive to like sharing vocally. But it's something that we can encourage and really support people in a way as well, and just really kind of nudge people to really share in that way, because it's powerful. And I think utilizing that, like as we're recording, being able to play back the recordings and then hold space in that way would be really, really, really beautiful. And then also being able to then move in and give our perspective as well. Like,
totally.
I think that would be really beautiful.
I think maybe if we firstly introduce it maybe into the Wise Wines episode, I almost see it as like a 1-800 dial DH kind of situation. Like,
yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I would love to do that. I really would. Yeah.
Totally hear what you're saying. And I think as we continue to grow, using will be good, but it's possibly like hard to implement if the community isn't ready. It is up to everybody else as well.
It is definitely a collaboration, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really would love to know if you guys have a favorite episode. Oh my god, what a hard question. I have no idea. What do you have a favorite episode?
Yeah, I have a few favorite episodes that we've done. One of them being the Working with Lilith. That was really
God, I was literally gonna say that. Yes,
that was really, really good. I also really loved our mental health episode. I think that was really powerful and really grounding to listen to. Like, honestly, it's really, that was vulnerable but really powerful. And oh god, I don't know. What about you?
I mean, I'm always going to be in love with the spiritual business episodes that we do. I kind of don't know which one it is, but there was one I was sharing the story on Barney and like sex. That was like a fun episode,
That episode.
I don't remember, but I just remember laughing a lot and leaving like my cheeks were on fire. And
that was fun. I wish I remembered what the episode title was for that one.
I don't know either. Yeah.
And of course, the episodes we did in person, they will always be like top tier for me.
Although,
oh my goodness.
Like, I look back now and I'm like, I just want to do it again. Like, I really want to do it again because I feel like, you know, it was the first time of us meeting, first time setting up recording in person. Like, it was just a lot emotionally and mentally. And I think that if we did it now, we'd be more comfortable and more like willing to go a little bit deeper. I don't know. Like, I'm so keen to do that again.
Yeah, that would be so good. We will.
Yes,
We will.
really.
We need to.
The button. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it was a good one. That was a good one. The bloopers. Oh my goodness. And all of our early ones were really fun as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're my favorites. But I know that there's so many that we're going to record as well that I'm going to fall in love with, especially when we launch this season 3 and get that going. I think that there's going to be lots of fun things that we're going to share because we have so many new ideas that have come through as well. Yeah, it's going to be good.
What would it?
I feel like I had something to say, now it's just lost. Oh.
Yep, no, you go.
Thank you as well, Lucinda, because your comment just now, she says, I missed what you guys were discussing before. What is it that you need the community to be ready for? Is exactly what I wanted to bring up again just now, because I wasn't finished with that. We were just speaking about how we want to open up the ability for people to send through like voice notes and things to the podcast to then play on the podcast so that we can kind of support and also bring perspective to as well. And we were speaking about how even though we want to do that, we've, you know, obviously communicated and spoken to people in the past, and there are a lot of people out there who feel a bit apprehensive to sharing vocally because it is scary. Like, you know, it takes vulnerability and courage to speak out and share your voice and have that shared. But we really want to encourage the community to do that. Like, we have that function, we have that option with this podcast platform for people to do that. So we really want to utilize that. And the point that I also wanted to make as well, and just remind everyone that, and this has been, we were speaking about this the other day, Tanita, like, I forget what day it was, but it was in text messages. No, it was in voice notes. But we're speaking about how we can bring so much to this space, but it's also about what other people are willing to give. And really, it's something that you can apply to any space that you're holding, even your own personal space, like both of our businesses in itself. It's not just about what you can get from this space. It's not about what you're just here to receive. You know, we're also counting on people to really bring something to this as well, because it is a collaboration, and anything, you know, amazing involves that collaboration aspect. So I really just want to encourage people to just think like, you know, what can I actually show up with and add to this space with, because you are so important. If you're listening to this or watching this, you are so important in this collaboration. It's not just about Tanita and I sharing. Everybody who is part of this community is so important in how we share and the stories that we share, and bring through new perspectives and sharing stories. And you never know what you're going to say, because you could say something that will help someone else. It could help a stranger and you won't even realize, but it could change someone's life. And me and Tanita can only say so much. And everyone else is so important in this collaboration. So it is really about, you know, what you're willing to give as well. I promise that it will be returned to you in some way through sharing your stories. And yeah, so I really encourage that.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up, because it's really important. As much as we desire this to be a community collaboration, we need that both ways. And I think if you've ever in the past have listened to somebody share their own story on a podcast, been touched and moved, you can return by doing that here on our podcast as well. We want to give you guys that opportunity to show up and share and give back through telling your own story and being vulnerable in ways that you're willing to share, because your perspective really does matter. And if you're in this community, I mean, we know you're not an evil human being. Like, you are genuine, you are kind, and you are open and aware, and we want more perspectives in this space, right? That's what we're here for. That's why we podcast. So I think if you guys just keep an eye out on DH stories, like in my mind, I'm thinking if all goes well, I'd love to pop up, you know, a story every week and ask for you guys to pop in your stories or share the link to the voice and do that sort of stuff. Just keep an eye out on the DH page, because we're going to try our absolute best to be very active. But also remember, this is such a passion project for us. Like, we do not get paid for this. We do not host ads in our podcast. We do not make any money whatsoever off DH. We the pure, like, genuine desire to connect. So it really helps us when you give back and when you also support us to support everybody else.
Yeah, it does. Oh, thank you, Lucinda. Thank you so much. I love hearing that. And that is the perfect word to describe it. It does bring a whole new dimension to this podcast, opening that up. I think that it's really important to at least offer that space for people as well. And I'm excited to see this unravel and see where season 3 takes us. I cannot believe we're here.
Oh my God.
I feel like we've both just shifted so much since we began this podcast. So it's wild that we're about to launch season 3, and I'm excited.
Me too. All right. I'm going to take my kid to swimming, but this is good.
Oh, I'm glad I got out of bed for this. It was good.
What do you mean? You're still in bed, aren't you?
I had this. Well, I am. Yeah. I just put a jumper over my pajama top.
Like, I'm sitting up in bed now.
Yeah. And then I was like, I walked into the kitchen. I was like, if I make a coffee, I'm gonna have to leave halfway in the live to pee. So I'll make like, oh my God, I'll have like half a cup of tea. I was like shoving food into my mouth, and then my child started having a tantrum like 2 minutes before I wanted to jump on, and I was like, this is gonna be great. But he's actually been great. I've only gotten the llama thrown in my head twice. It's been fabulous.
It's been fabulous. The realness of morning. What else would you want?
Say that again.
I said the realness of a Saturday morning on live. What else would you want?
Oh yeah. Nothing in life. Perfect. Goals.
What are you doing today? What are you up?
We're just having a chill day today. I think we'll probably get out in the afternoon at some point. I went to sleep at 3 a.m. So.
Oh my God, Alicia, I will drive down there and slap on the wrist.
I know. I'm rewatching Outlander, and I was like, it's like watching it for the first time because there's so many things I didn't pick up on. So now I'm committed too much, and now my whole sleep schedule, my naturopath's going to kill me when she finds, like, we've just like started to, balance everything out. My sleep schedule's been amazing, and now I'm like, it's down the tubes. Oh my goodness. What are you doing after swimming?
Gonna go see my granddad. So it's 5, but it'll be good.
Yeah.
And then preparing for Father's Day. I was like madly running to the shops yesterday because I remembered Father's Day, and now as a parent I have to do that for my partner. So like, I love you so much, but like,
I have to show you something. I have to send it to you after this live because it's what we got for Father's Day, and it is.
Oh my God, I need to know. I need to know.
It's so funny. I can't wait. Oh my god! I actually might share. I'll share it on my. Yeah, I might share it on my close friends story. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, it's it's.
If it's good,
Yeah.
film his reaction.
I'm definitely going to because
Is that good? Okay.
that good.
All right. Love play.
It's purely for my own entertainment purposes, though. It's such a selfish gift.
Did you just get him that? Nothing else?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm excited.
I'm great. Anyway.
All right. Bye. And thank you so much for coming and spending your Saturday morning with us. We will see you. It'll be 2 weeks. So we're going to record on Monday and then the episode will be released the Monday after. So buckle up. It'll be exciting.
Bye. We'll see you guys then. Bye.